Welcome everyone. Remember a couple of weeks ago, on the end of one of my other videos, I think it was on the truss rod bushings for the Rambler. At the end of that, I gave you a little sneak peek of a mold that I was making for some 39 to 46, I think it was, Lincolns. It's a frame support. I finally finished it and got to run it once. It came out perfect. So let me just show you what the mold looks like and what I have to go through to make one of these particular mounts. So we'll be right back. Okay, a little correction. 39 to 48 Lincoln. It's a frame spring perch insulator. This is an original one that comes, this is the way I get it. It's all beat up. Rubber is not really, it's all separating and everything. So it's ready to go in. And what I'm going to turn it into is something that looks similar to this. This is one that's been all done up. This one came out of a factory mold. Mine come out a little different. It doesn't have so much of this around the outside. And this part here is a little less on the mold that I made. And here it is in all its glory. There's a pot that sits on the top. It covers this area, and there's a piece in the center here that pushes the rubber down through these holes. This bolt holds this in. As you can see, that's the bottom of it. And this area here is a little different. And plus I stamped the number in it, the part number. And let's see if I can get this apart real quick. This goes through, it holds on. I should grab the pieces that go in there. I'll be right back. Okay. Now this particular customer does a lot of Lincoln parts. He had these made from the original ones. Let's see if we can get this up here, you can see it. This piece right here is this. That would be that. And that piece down inside of there is this. The guy who made that, the shop that made that, did a fantastic job. I've already run one of these. The new plates, they fit in here absolutely perfect. You can tell I got a lot of bolts that hold everything together. This, watch out it doesn't hit you. This piece sits right in there, and these go on the ends that go through. It's kind of difficult to do with one hand, but difficult to do with one hand. Sorry about that. And the other side goes through the same way. Now once this is together, because I had to have a little spacer in here, that washer, to keep this plate, I wanted a little bit of rubber to sit down inside of here, to go onto these two sides. And we're going to take this, this goes through this hole. If I'm all over the place with this camera, it's because I'm trying to do this one-handed. Oh, I say, where did that come from? Now where this is all kind of custom made, I had to stamp numbers in the edges so that I'll know how this goes back together. Kind of simple, you just line up all the holes, line up all the numbers, and so I preload it. I stuff as much rubber as I can down through these cavities. This is all coated with the bonding agent. This goes back on the top, and then the bolt that fell sits in here. Kind of locks it all together. Anyway, that goes in there. The pot gets bolted down. This bolt is so that when I'm pushing the rubber in, it doesn't lift it up, which it can happen. These bolts that go in here, all on the other side, tightens everything together so that no rubber can leak out, with the exception of a couple of small spots where I want air to get out to fill it up, so that the rubber will fill it. Once the base is on, I'll put the remaining rubber that I've rolled, put it in the top here, inside of this pot, and then put it in the press. It pushes down, forces all the rubber through here and down into this cavity, fills it all up, and it comes out to that. Works pretty good. Like I said, I ran it already, and it came out perfect. It's exactly the way that I wanted it to do. It went in and filled in all these areas, all the areas in through here, all down through this. A little bit goes in through the front. And we can disassemble everything. And this bolt fell out again. And that's it. This area here is where you'd see that. That would sit down into there, like that. Oh, goes over a little more. Yeah, it sits in like that. Fills it all up. All the rubber goes down in through the sides. But I had to space this up a little bit. You do what you have to do when you're making these molds. So there's all the pieces. And that's what I do. I hope you enjoyed it. It's what it takes to make this particular mold. And just so that you know, I didn't follow any plans. I just sucked all this out of my head. This has got to look like this has got to look like that. Measurements, yeah, I wrote all that down. But as far as following a blueprint, no, I never do. In all the 200 or so molds that I've made, I don't think I've ever drawn a picture of what I wanted. The biggest thing was having a good sample to go by, whether it be this. This is what I originally went by, just an old one, and I had a customer that I did this particular mold for, that he does a lot of Lincoln parts, and he happened to have the factory mold that made this particular one, but I didn't get this until after I made that mold that you see. I was just able to make sure that this fitted, and it did. So, like I said before, this kind of gives you an insight into some of the things that I do here. And out of the 200 or so molds, they're all over the place. You can see some of them behind me. All the molds that I make out of billet aluminum. And it seems to work. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you happen to have one of these Lincolns and it needs this particular spring support insulator, send it on in, and I'll see what I can do. I can make it, along with a lot of other things. That's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.